So, during the last few days of playing ranked, of course, in Overwatch, I've been, winning some games, losing some games, but overall, I seem to have lost a little bit more games than I've won. And then, of course, I went back to kind of look at this, see what I'm doing wrong, and it turns out the majority of the games that I'm losing are also where I get defense on the coin flip. Now, maybe this is just some of my Johns on my part, but this does seem like a bit of a problem. Whenever I get offense, I seem to almost always win for the coin flip, and whenever I get defense, I seem to almost always lose. And this seems to be what's happening also in the higher MMRs. The problem about it is that defense does have to hold off offense like 3 times. If offense gets 1 team wipe on defense, they automatically win. But if defense gets 3 or 4 team wipes on offense, offense still has a chance to win, especially through overtime. So in general, I'd say these really just aren't the fairest system. Of course, just the first point, some maps, the first point is really offense based. Some maps, defense wins more on the first point. But overall, I'd say offense does have really an advantage on the first map, or just on the first point of most maps. And just, especially competitive teams, they can usually just always win, so it's a real big problem. And the biggest problem about this is that in sudden death, it's a coin flip. So, if one team flips offense, there you go, you have a much higher chance of winning, especially if you're in a higher ranking. If you're in a really lower ranking, like the 30s or low 40s, a lot of the times defense can win. But if you're in a super high ranking, like I've been seeing 60s, 70s, offense wins a lot of the time. Unless you have a full team of 6 coordinated people on defense, offense will probably win. So the thing is, essentially how it goes right now is that if you are playing ranked, you get a tie game, 3-3, let's say, on one of the control point maps, or not control point, on one of the pushing maps. So 3-3, you're doing really well. This map is very, very close. The coin flip, bang, hits the ground, and you get defense. Well, that's kind of just a thing saying you have a much lower chance of winning. And that's it. You just have a lower chance of winning right now, especially on certain maps where it's just like impossible to defend the first point. There's some maps that are just really, really annoying on the first point. So yeah, it's really, really annoying, especially since your win or your loss could come almost completely out of a coin flip. Now, of course, this is not saying, oh no, you can never win on defense. Defense is impossible. I'm just saying that it seems like, at least for right now, there's a much higher chance that you could win on offense. So it's not really fair when you get placed on defense or when you get placed on offense, because you're either going to get an auto advantage or an auto disadvantage, and you don't really want to give your players one of those things based on luck or based on a coin flip when it's trying to be a 100% skill-based rating, at least for Overwatch. They want a skill-based rating. So yeah, right now, coin flip, you get defense, your chance of winning is quite a bit lower, especially if you don't have a very coordinated team. Even with the coordinated team, if you're versus another coordinated offense team, they get 1 team wipe, you lose. You get multiple team wipes, you don't win. That's just kind of how defense works. Of course, what they could do to fix this whole problem is just completely get rid of the sudden death system, completely get rid of that offense-defense role, and instead just do, as a lot of people have said, the stopwatch system, where essentially you push until the very end, because attack majority of the time wins, especially in like pro teams. So you push, try to get to the end, and then they time how long it took you, then the enemy team pushes, try to get to the end, and they time how long it took you, then the team that had the most time left wins. And it's as simple as that. It's very easy. A lot of pro teams are doing this. Essentially, it makes so that, well, let's be honest, defense for the most part actually isn't winning right now. It's really not as balanced offense-defense, but when you're basically doing it on whose offense is better, it works decently well, at least. Or at least if you have a good defense, you could hold them off for a while, and then your offense may not be as good, but you could still push a decent amount. So yeah, overall, I really like the stopwatch system, but I'm betting Overwatch won't ever implement this, or at least they won't do it for a while. So maybe what they could do instead of this exact stopwatch system where it makes you automatically win or lose, what they could do is do a similar stopwatch system. Whoever can get to the furthest part, or whoever can get to the end quickest, they get to pick if they want to be on offense or defense. Now, for the majority of people, they would probably pick offense, but the thing is, it would be very nice because it means that you played the first round better than the opponent, and the second round, at least you did decently well. So what should happen is that you get an advantage on the third round. Maybe some people think this would be a little bit OP, and just make the better players always win or whatever, always get offense, but I don't know, I'd personally like that. And of course, it means that if you're very good on offense, and you're on a really good defensive map, you could pick defense if you really want to. So yeah, overall, that's just kind of what I was hoping for. I'm hoping that maybe eventually they do give you the choice of offense or defense, or of course they just do stopwatch and get completely rid of this offense or defense third round sudden death. Sudden death just is not really working for me right now. It just feels so weirdly balanced, because sometimes defense can just team wipe you once, and then the offense team never gets coordinated, especially in solo queue, but sometimes the defense team can team wipe you once, and then the offense team coordinates, gets really close together, and just plows through half your team, and then they come again a second time with the other 3 people, and they just completely wreck you, and they push once, and they auto-win. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what to do with this. Of course, just getting rid of sudden death, that's just my preferred thing. Go into that stopwatch. But if they can't do that, maybe do a similar stopwatch thing, but where the stopwatch essentially just decides if you get offense or defense. Maybe that would make Blizzard happy. Either way, though, I'd like a little bit of a change. This has been very annoying because, you know, sometimes I'd get like 5 offense games in a row, you know, from sudden death. I pretty much win every single one of my offense games. But when I get a few defense games in a row, I lose the majority of my defense games. So maybe it's just completely my own personal player problem, but I've been seeing that offense does seem to win quite a bit more when I'm watching live streams and when I'm watching just a lot of games like pro games. Maybe it's just me, but I guess we really just have to wait and see. And tell me what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Are you always winning on offense? Are you always winning on defense? And even if you are always winning on defense, would you like a system where if you push better than the opponent on the regular first 2 games, you would be able to pick defense every game? Would that be a nice system? I think it would. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and have a wonderful day.